Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. We'll do the Shanti part of this Upanishad also. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatpayarma Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnururukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Bhavatu Tat Vaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are at Shikshavalli, it's called, where the saints and sages are giving instructions to their students who want to study Vedanta and all that. So they taught him the technique of meditation, that you take some principle that you already know and superimpose other things on it, bigger and higher things. And that whole journey they took us. And the last verse that we did, उन्होंने कहा कि inside world and outside world both are important. So, शुरू में जब साधना में बोलेंगे, get away from the world and this and that, that may be okay in the beginning, to kind of nakarna world ko. But in the end, the world is also Bhagwan. That's what you come around the whole circle. That outside is also Bhagwan, inside is also Bhagwan. So he's saying inside and outside, both worlds are very, very important. And in this, throughout this bhava of doing, learning Vedanta and all that, they never say that you should not have worldly prosperity. They give equal importance. We do have a healthy body, we should have, place to live, we should have all of that enough. Tabhi sadhana ho sakti hai. If you have a good car and enough petrol and enough, a nice garage to keep it, then I can take the journey. So they stress upon it. And also, you cannot be lopsided. You keep working on your internal world and, let the outside thing go to hell. No. Both are equally important. Both are purak of each other. That's what we learned. And then it summarized, in different parts, in five groups of five, everything. That's what we did last one. Now this one is very interesting because whoever has done Mandukya Upanishad with us, they will 100% identify with this. This is nothing but the summary of the Mandukya Upanishad, this particular verse. Very short. Baki verses till lambe the. This one is very short, but very powerful. And if you did the Mandukya Upanishad in this group, fantastic, you will remember. If you have not, then here is the chance that those 12 mantras are summarized here. Okay, in this two little one sentence. So here is Anuvak 8. Omiti Brahma, Omiti Idgam Sarvam. Om, this is a symbol of that consciousness, and we will talk about it. It is thus Brahma, Brahman. When we say Brahman, consciousness, God, Bhagwan, whatever you want to call it, that entity. And Om, again, Om is Om. Iti, thus, Idgam, this. Idgam means this, universe, means everything that you see. Sarvam, all. So, what are they trying to say? That Om is this Brahman and Om is this all. So what actually are they trying to say? So firstly, if you have done Mandukya, then you already know it. If you have not done, then here it is. Om is nothing but symbol of that consciousness. Just like I have symbol of United States is a flag. So when I see the flag, suddenly that bhav of United States comes. United States is something very, very big. But this is just to remind me. That same way, but this Om symbol is so scientific, so deep, that doing the Om sadhana can take you to that Brahman. That's how powerful it is. So how it is, we will see. It's a very mystic symbol. genius symbol. And we as a human being, we need the help of a symbol. Without that, हमारा mind, it's almost impossible to because कोई बोलेगा निराकार का साधना करो, you know, we don't know what to do. That's why you need symbols. And some people in the other religion, they will say, oh, we don't believe in symbols. And if you go in depth, they do, 100% they do. The Muslims will turn towards the Kaaba to pray. That's symbol, or Jesus as a cross karenge, that's symbol, right? Everybody needs symbol. This is the symbol. And this symbol has infinite possibilities. Now, how? And the whole Upanishad, I said, the 12 mantras, very small Upanishad, and there is a story between, I think it's a conversation between Hanuman ji and रामचंद्र जी. हनुमान जी ने पूछा कि अगर मुझे मोक्ष चाहिए तो मुझे क्या करना चाहिए. उन्होंने बोला जाके मांडुक्य पढ़ो और समझो. और अगर मांडुक्य नहीं समझ में आए तो बाकी करो. ओके, इतना उन्होंने पावरफुल है ये मांडुक्य उपनिषद. सो how does a Mandukya describe Om? First, it tells you that, just to give a background, that our life is nothing but different experiences that we have. If you say 24 hours में क्या क्या हुआ, right? So 24 hours में उसको ना उन्होंने 3 भागों में डिवाइड किया. 3 भागों में ऐसे डिवाइड किया. एक जागृत अवस्था जो सबकी अलग अलग होती है, because it depends on how many hours you sleep. Some people can, some saints and sages only sleep 2 or 3 hours and they work another 21 hours. Others might need 10 hours of sleep. But everybody has these 3 stages. So you have a Jagrit Avastha, usme experiences hote hain hamare. So, or the second Avastha is, dreamer ki Avastha. I go to sleep and I go in the dream world. So, wo ek dusri 2 Avastha ho gayi. And I think everybody dreams. Some people remember their dreams, others don't. I don't remember most of my dream. And my husband is here. He remembers it very nicely sometimes. When he starts describing, I feel like he's telling some real life or something. So everybody dreams. And the third one is deep sleep, where I'm not aware of anything, but all of us, when we have a very good deep sleep, we know it. We get up and say, I got a good deep sleep. At that time, you're not dreaming. So that they called it waking state, dreaming state, and deep sleep. Those are the 3 experiences each human being, each jiva has it. And we will focus on human beings right now because we know how we think. These 3 are the different experiences. But the modern world mainly focuses on the waking world. They don't give so much importance to, deep sleep and they, science, obviously, they have some sleeping research and all going on, but mainly whatever experience you have, Jagrat Avastha, usi pe focus kiya jata hai. So what Chimyananji was saying, if you just do that, you are literally denying the 2/3 of your experiences. So you have to, if you want life as a whole, you got to take all 3. So the way Mandukya explains it, that when, you identify with the waking world, then you are in that waking experiences. And then when you go to sleep or when you're dreaming, what happens is your connection with your physical body is cut off temporarily. So that's why in the not deep sleep, when we are sleeping, we are not aware of our body. Koi pain hota hai, kuch hota hai, we are not aware of it. Even if you are very sad or whatever, when you are deep sleep, you're not aware. But obviously in your dreaming state, it will spill over your feelings and all that. So dream state में क्या हो रहा है कि physical body से connection टूट गया है, मगर mind and intellect से अभी भी connection है. So that's why you take whatever masala is in the mind and intellect and then you make a story out of that. That is dreaming state. So that's another experience. So you are in the inner world of उसमें तुम विचरण कर रहे हो in your dream state. Okay? And then what happens? The third state is when you disconnect not only with the body but with mind and intellect also. So the mind and intellects are also kind of folded. They are not available to you. And that is the very peaceful, joyful, state and you are conscious of nothing, you have experience of nothing, that's called deep sleeper. So you have three states, right? Waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. And if you really analyze it, these are like literally three compartments. और एक दूसरे का प्रवेश नहीं है उसमें. आप सोच के देखो, अगर आप सो रहे हो तो इसका मतलब तुम जागे नहीं हो. कोई बोलेगा sleep walking and all that's some other, we're not talking about that. Don't talk about exceptions over here. You know what I'm talking about. When I'm sleeping, I'm not awake. When I'm dreaming, I'm not in deep sleep. Neither I'm awake nor I'm in deep sleep. So each experience is its own compartment. Okay, that's another thing where we have to very deeply understand this. And then one point he was trying to make was that sometimes your dream can be totally opposite of your waking state. तभी वो एक फेमस स्टोरी है ना जनक महाराज की. ही वॉज अ राजा एंड उनको सपने में लगा कि मैं भिखारी बन गया हूँ, मेरा राजपाट सब चला गया. He was sleeping very comfortably on his bed, but in his dream he's like जंगलों में भटक रहे हैं और खाने को कुछ नहीं है and all. Contrary भी हो सकता है. Okay? So that's another thing, that it can be contrary. But the main point that Mandukya brings out is that when we remember the three states, each person can remember it. How do we remember? We know our waking state, we know everything that's going on in there. Usme koi problem nahi. We remember our dreams. I may not remember every detail, but I know I was dreaming something, so I didn't remember that. And everybody, if they have slept very deep, they have that experience of it. I have slept well. So that means that some entity over there is observing all three and reporting to you. That's the law of memory, that only I can remember my own experiences. I cannot remember your dreams. I don't know what you're doing in the daytime if I'm not with you, or I don't know your experience of the deep sleep, but I know my own. So just go back to your own experience, that I have these three different experiences, and there is a common factor there that remembers everything. That common factor is called, in Vedanta, is called the witness. Sakshi bhav jisko bolte hain. It's witnessing all three things, and this entity is present in all three states. So in Mandukya, इसको तुरिया बोला है. मैंने को बोलते हैं ना कि तुरिया is not the fourth state. Turiya is something, a fourth word दिया है उसको. Turiya means fourth. There is as though a fourth entity, but basically what it is this entity is present in all three. It's the substratum, it's the base of all three. That's what they're trying to tell you. Okay, so, and that particular entity is that consciousness, it's real because it's all the time present. Changeless because उसमें कोई फर्क नहीं होता है. You know, एक witness को witness तब बोला जाता है when he's not involved with the incident. If suppose कोई accident हुआ है, तो जो accident जिनका हुआ है उसको witness नहीं बना सकते आप, right? Witness हुआ है कि जो दूर से देख रहा है. So that's why it's called Sakshi Bhav, means this particular entity is observing all three states, but it is not getting involved in it in that way, and it is not getting affected by it. So that's how we have to, this principle is common in all. And this called the pure subject. That's another word you can use. And you know, this, as though this has become the dreamer, this has become the deep sleeper, this has become the waker. As though, actually बना नहीं है वो, लेकिन ऐसा लगता है कि बन गया. Okay, so that's what, it's a खेल of Maya and all that. I don't want to get into all that, but basically what they did was this whole principle they took of three experiences, and now they took this, made this word Om. Om हम लोग बोलते हैं Om, but actually it is made of three different sounds: A, U, and M. Okay, O, U, and Ma. And you know, after a long time, I understood that my name is feminine of Om. Uma maybe O, U, or Ma. मेरे को पता भी नहीं था. But I was so happy once I found out that that's how this name came about. So A, U, and M is there. It's constituted of that. You know why they took this three? Because when you are chanting, the correct technique of chanting is that whatever technique they taught us in this Taittriya Upanishad, superimposing something on it. A, U or Ma, or 3 different states, 3 different letters. So the A में आप waking state को superimpose करो. So when you are saying Om, when you are saying a part of it, then it is the waking state. Then waking state becomes dream state, so that becomes U, U, and बोला ना merge हो गया deep sleep में. That is the whole technique. There are 3 states and 3 letters. So he was just saying that what does superimposition mean? To explain, it's like we take Shivling and we superimpose the idea of Shiva Tattva in it. उसको एक shape दिया गया शिवलिंग को कि वो universe का shape है वो. You know that Shiva Tattva is your universe, whole universe is Shiva. Or you can say कि शालिग्राम लिया, उसको नारायण बोला तुमने. You're superimposing upon it. That this I'm taking it as a symbol, but actually it is Narayan. Or Christianity, like cross. कितना उनको reverence आता है, जैसे वो cross देखते हैं उनका एकदम भाव ही बदल जाता है, because they are superimposing whole Christ life on it. That's why this is called superimposition. Same way this Om is A, U and Ma, and if you want to analyze it further, वो चंद्र बिंदु ऊपर है ना ऐसे ओम में. So that Chandra Bindu is separate from the 3, that's the Turiya state. So that's why it is not touching it. It's not influenced by it. That's how you can look at it. And that's में 3 line होते हैं, वो line भी एक state की है. A is that one line, a waking state. U is the second, and third, उसकी tail है, that is, I don't have a board here, but everybody knows the Om symbol. So how scientific it is. So the sadhak जो है ना, once he learns this technique, then the whole world of plurality comes into this picture. It can be explained by this symbol. And what does this do, this sadhana of Om, if you know it, do it correctly and you understand what they are trying to do, is it integrates the mind and intellect. मतलब वो एक सूक्ष्म बन जाता है, subtle हो जाता है. And with that subtle mind, pure awareness को समझना easy हो जाता है. This morning I was just listening to some small pravachan of someone, and in the audience, somebody asked a question to this sadhu. So उन्होंने कुछ जवाब दिया. So वो साधु ने बोला, देखो मेरे को अंग्रेजी वगैरह तो आती नहीं है, बट मैं जवाब देता हूँ. फिर उन्होंने जो जवाब दिया ना, उसमें उन्होंने प्रश्न पूछा, आपको ये शब्द का मतलब समझ में आया? तो वो बोला नहीं. तो बोला, I don't know what to do if you don't know the meaning of this word. Because, somebody can explain, but if you don't even understand the explanation, how are you going to understand it? See what I'm saying? So even to learn the Vedantic words, now that whoever has been in the class for long, some words have such deep meaning. Like, remember we did a whole class on Adhyatma. How much was there in the word Adhyatma? So किसी को ऐसे ही बोल दो Adhyatma तो उसको समझ में नहीं आएगा, because चलती फिरती लैंग्वेज में उसका मीनिंग अलग है, बट वेदांत में उसका मीनिंग अलग है. So first you got to even understand the definitions. So anyway, what he's trying to say is that with this Om sadhana, your mind will become more sukshma, and you will understand the Vedantic subjects also better. And basically what they are trying to say is this pure awareness that you have that illumines all this world inside and outside, that pure awareness is symbolized by the gap between the 2 Oms when we chant. So our teacher used to say, once you understand this technique, the gap is the most important one. Because you say 1 Om, then you should wait a little bit. सीधा Om 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 नहीं बोलते जाओगे. That's not the correct sadhana. You say धीरे से अपने Om बोला, then you wait, and then you go to the next Om. So the interval between the 2 Om is the silence. वो silence में वो डूब गया Om, और उसी silence से बाहर निकला. Okay, so same way the consciousness is like compared to a silence, nothingness or whatever you want to call it. उसमें से जागृत अवस्था, or dream avastha or sleep avastha. So that is the symbol. The turiya is a gap between the two. This is the symbol of what you call represents so many different things. And I'm just giving you a tip of the iceberg because there were 12 mantras, but there is something called karika. Karika is like गौड़पाद जी एक हैं जो शंकराचार्य जी के दादा गुरु होते थे, उनकी लिखी हुई वो कारिका है. उसमें करीब 230-40 श्लोक्स ऐसे कुछ हैं, just to explain those 12 shlokas, because they are so deep that you have to इतना analysis किया है, you know, waking अवस्था क्या है, dream अवस्था क्या है, deep अवस्था क्या है, all that. So, you know, whoever did it, it took several years to finish it actually, but it was very nice thing to do. So now it says, firstly इन्होंने कहा Om iti Brahma. Om is this Brahma because it's a symbol. And now then it's saying everything is Om. Why they are saying everything is Om? Because the symbol is encompassing the whole life. Our whole life is nothing but those three experiences of waking state, you know, deep sleep and the dream. Everything comes under that. That's why it is all this. So this is what it is. And then Swamiji always uses these three examples different times. He says that mud and mud pots. Mud pots can be innumerable, but the reality in every mud pot is mud. Without mud, you cannot have a mud pot. You can have different shapes, you can have different color, whatever, but the essence of it is mud. That mud is represented by Brahman. Or in gold ornaments and gold, you cannot take away gold from a gold ornament. It won't be there. So gold is the essence of all gold and ornaments. It can be anything. A third example he gives is waves and ocean. You know, ocean is the reality of the wave. Without ocean, there is no wave. Like our teacher used to say, you cannot take the wave out of the ocean, put it over here in my room and call it a wave, right? Wave has to be part of ocean. So ocean is a reality, and wave can be any, and wave can have different shapes, sizes, and all that. Same way, Om represents the essence of it and also the whole universe. That's why this whole verse is about this. And I'm going to probably stop here, but we will read next time because there's a Swamiji's explanation. There's a lot of explanation in there. Similar thing he's saying, but I was just trying to explain whoever has not done the Mandukya. Any question or comment on this Om symbol?
This one line Shloka has a 6-page explanation by Swamiji.
This one line Shloka has an entire Upanishad on it. And I told you there are only 12 mantras, but to explain the 12 mantras, there's a Karika too. And nobody studies Mandukya without the Karika because you won't understand much. You know, it's like कोई engineering field का होगा और कोई एक line हम लोग को बोल दे, कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा हमको. You have to go and study those 4 years of engineering college to understand that. See what I'm saying? Or E equal to mc square. If I don't know what energy is, if I don't know what mass is, I won't understand it. So that's what it is. Om is tremendous. You can write books and books on Om. Because even the sound vibrations has a lot of science in it. We didn't even talk about that. We were just talking about the symbol right now. But वो इतना scientific है वो symbol कि it is just mind-boggling that how they came up with it. So scientific. And that Om symbol itself, the sadhana can take you to the moksha, according to Mandukya Upanishad. You know, so.
You want me to read one or two paragraphs of it, Umaji?
Yeah, you can. If anybody has any question on this or comment or want to add anything to Om symbol, okay, you can read then.
Because the reason is I might be missing the next class, so I want to start at least some page of it.
Oh, so you have your own
No, I have to
personal agenda. Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
The sacred sound Om is the Brahman. All this is the syllable Om. The mystic syllable Om is the choiceless point of concentration prescribed for the benefit of the student of Vedanta, who is constitutionally more intellectual than emotional. In their early attempts at developing a highly concentrated mind and intellect, each student too need to help of a symbol or an idea which has infinite possibilities to entertain them with inexhaustible contents. The genius in the Vedika masters gave us Om as an ideal for the intellect to worship in the inner temple.
So there's so much in this paragraph now. So firstly, he's saying that to make our minds more concentrated, because to study Vedanta we need subtle and pure mind, right? So to develop that we need some symbol which has infinite possibilities to entertain inexhaustible content, because this universe is so vast. उसको एक symbol में कैसे लेके आया? तो the genius in the Vedantic master gave us this Om. The idea idol, like idol जैसे कोई मूर्ति होती है, like we discussed. Murti by itself doesn't have the meaning, but what Chinmayananji used to say, the ideal behind the idol counts. See that? Ideal behind. So if we say Ramchandra ji, if I just put a murti and if I don't know Ramayan, I'll never be able to understand what is Ramchandra ji. I have to study the whole Ramayana to have that reverence, then that murti has a meaning. Like I always say that people say, I'm a Krishna Bhakta, I'm a Krishna Bhakta. Hey, have you studied Geeta? No. Then how can you be a Krishna Bhakta? First go see what he's saying. If I revere somebody, I gotta go listen to him, right? First, what he's all about. So that's what it is, that this Om is a symbol for everything. And then we have to study it, and then it gives fruit.
Maji, can I speak for a minute?
Yes, sure.
I'm not knowledgeable, but the whole universe is based upon the creation is based upon the sound, the vibration. The Om is compartmentalized into three parts. A, U, M. So it makes this part from here to here complete one thing. There is three parts which make different forms of the sound. Once one gets an understanding of this, then I think what they say, it is easy to read Vedas and other things so that your pronunciation or your vibration of the words is accurate, so that you can get neuronal activation or Kundalini Jagrati. It's my little knowledge.
That is yes. That is a sound part of it. Did you just join? When did you just come to the class?
I came quite late because...
how many minutes ago you came?
3 hours difference, but there's only 2 hours difference.
Oh, okay. So we talked about the U and Ma also, that what did the Mandukya Upanishad say, that is a Jagrat Avastha, U is the dream, and that is a sleeping, and how there is a substratum in it and all that. And I've recorded this whole thing, so maybe you can go back. And so that part is there, and whatever you are saying also is true. As I was saying, that we didn't even touch upon the sound part of it. The sound is because the whole universe was started with a vibration, because we did Kathopanishad. Yes. Kathopanishad में पूरा आया है कि जब ब्रह्मन में vibration होता है तो पूरा जगत बाहर आता है, और पूरा sequence है उसका. We did the sequence. So that vibrational sound is also, it represents that Om. So Om has a vibrational aspect to it, the three U and Ma aspect of it, the waking state, dream state, deep sleep state aspect of it. Turiya is there. Turiya is the fourth avastha, which is a substratum of it, which is a sakshi. All that is part of Om. True.
Great.
So,
thanks for making me understand. Thanks.
So ऐसा करते हैं कि already it's time now. So I usually don't like to go over in my class because the subject is so heavy that we need to. So we'll continue reading next time. You only read one paragraph, right? Okay, so we'll stop here. Any other question or comment on what we did today? If some last minute question or something, or somebody want to add anything to what we did. Before I put it out there, the question, Om is going to come in chapter 8 also now. भगवान इज गोइंग टू से एंड में क्या करना चाहिए हमको, सारी इंद्रियों को हालांकि ओम का उच्चारण करना चाहिए. तो उन्होंने खाली ऐसे नहीं बोला कि ओम का करो विदाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट ओम इज. Remember, when we are talking about remembering God, we have to know who God is. Then we can remember him correctly. And same way, Om. We all, especially coming from India, because this हमारे इंडियन ऋषि मुनियों ने हमें ये सिंबल दिया है, तो हम लोग को इसको बहुत अच्छे से समझना चाहिए. अभी पूरी दुनिया में हम यहाँ पैसिफिक बीच में रहते हैं, हर जगह ओम ओम है वहाँ पर. You go to some cafe, वहाँ पर ओम लगाया हुआ है. And sometimes you wonder, do they know the meaning? चलो कोई बात नहीं.
पूरा ग्रैंड गार्डन पे ओम ही है उमा जी.
हाँ, sorry.
Grand Avenue or Garnet Avenue.
Yes, now you know what I'm talking about. That's only a mile from our house. So Om is such a powerful thing. It's so attractive, and the more you know it, the more reverence you have of it, and more you have reverence for the genius of our Rishi Muni. How they came up with this. It's not scientific, but just gives you goosebumps, So we'll continue next time.
I have 2 comments.
Yes, Joe.
Number 1, so many new people have joined. I don't have any email address of them. The reason I ask is because when I send notes every week, I use that email address.
Right. So I think everybody should share their email address with Joe. He's very good at, sending even the recording. I put it here, but he also has his YouTube channel that he puts the recording. And so there are a lot of benefits to give Joe your email. And maybe...
So the second item is I have every chapter that we have talked about for last 5 years in podcast form on the YouTube. So chapter 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you have missed anything and you have time, you can keep listening for the next few months. And so they are all preserved. And so I can send you, and when I send the next mail, all the addresses of the podcast. And they are by chapters. So 1 through 8.
How can we send you? What is your email? How do we
Why don't you share your email on the WhatsApp of Geeta? That's fine. And you can, not because today, at least, 10, 15 people joined in the last few months, and some of them are not here. So if you put in WhatsApp, then everybody will know what you're saying. So just put it on that Geeta thing. It's fine because it's related to the class. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Can you also add the alarm? Just like 15 minutes to start. Now, who's the organizer? He can put an alarm on this thing Zoom, so that we know within 15 minutes we are going to have the Zoom.
How do you do that? I don't know.
The person who's the administrator.
Me, I am starting this Zoom. So.
Oh, you can do it.
Okay, maybe I will learn it from you. I will call you and separately learn that from you. It's fine. Because I'm learning through all this how to handle.
All are learning.
So that's fine if it helps everybody. Yeah.
This is
But
the
for
beauty of
Houston, it's 2 hours. So for you, it will be 1 p.m.
it will be 1 p.m. That is why I came at 2 p.m. Then I said, no, I'm not in New York. I'm
Oh,
in Houston.
yeah. It's all right.
And it's only 2 hours time difference. My apologies for my
No
late
problem. No problem.
entrance.
So anyway, if any other question, comment? If not, then we can stop, and we will next week we will be on Wednesday. And I apologize for changing it, but hopefully it will be on track every Wednesday at 11 a.m. California time. Okay? All right, so I'll close here. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Everybody, have a great week.
A good weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'll see you
Hari
next
Om,
time.
Umaji.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.